Morning, Warriors. Your boy Garrett J. White, the Master Coach Mentor, coming at you with a little wake-up wad here on my 10-mile run this morning in San Diego, California. Coming in day 3 of Traffic and Conversion Summit, hanging out with my Warriors and 2,500 other marketers who ultimately are trying to figure out better tips and tricks, strategies and tools, perspectives and mindsets on how to take their messages to the marketplace globally. Speaking of messages globally to the marketplace, if you've not picked up the Wake Up Warrior app, what the hell? Head on over to iTunes and or the Google Play Store and pick up your app today. Again, it's free. It's one app, one location, 100% of the content, 100% of the time. Wake Up TV on Mondays, M3 Radio on Wednesdays, Sunday Sermon on Sundays, and the Daily Rant every single day via video as well as text. So while I'm creating this video, I was out here on this run today, and I'm actually come over here into the shade so you can see it. If you look across the street here, you're going to see the San Diego International Airport sign. About 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago, I was actually right here on this exact street. I had actually walked from across the lot, landed on my flight, had all my stuff in one bag in a backpack. I had some food in my backpack, I had clothes in my backpack, I had everything that I needed in the backpack. I also had about $127 to my name. Shit had gotten really fucking ugly. My marriage was struggling and falling apart. My fitness was okay. My business was a scatter place. It seemed like no matter how much I made every month, it was like gone within a week. And I was so frustrated with my life. And I ended up having this prepaid seminar series that I paid for, this mastermind experience. But I didn't have enough fucking money for a cab. I didn't have enough money for a hotel. And so I ended up here in San Diego with my backpack with the full intention of sleeping in the park. It was a very interesting time to be in because here I was trying to own the presence and certainty of who I was, the message that I felt called to lead. I'd come from millions of dollars in banking and real estate. I'd had all this past success, and yet for whatever fucking reason, I couldn't get my life on the right track. And so as I sat there walking all the way 4 miles to my hotel downtown San Diego, I walked down there to the hotel where the event was at, and I didn't have a room. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I started searching around to find parks, and then I started convincing myself in my mind that sleeping in the park was going to be a good idea. I could turn it into this fun story for down in the road in the future. And I remember I walked over to one of the parks that were down there, and I sat down on a bench, and I just started fucking crying. And I remember at that time looking up into heaven and just saying, fuck, why? Why am I here, and how do I get out? The frustration was so deeply rooted in pain inside of me. My wife, as I'd left for that trip, was angry at me, couldn't believe I was heading to another workshop. I hadn't produced any fucking money, at least sufficient enough to pull us out of the hole I'd put us in. She questioned everything about who I was, my power, my capacity. I questioned my power and my capacity, my self-worth, my confidence, my certainty. Everything seemed to be melting around me. What I was left with was this one single voice. This one single voice so rooted inside my soul that continued to say, just take the next step. Just take the next step. I see so many of us, we see the results of those who have gone before us, and I watch this happen with people with me today, and they start to assume, well, Garrett, the results that you've gotten, you must have always had this experience. And I'm like, no. I was a fucking guy with a backpack who put all my shit in a backpack because I didn't want to pay for a bag because I didn't have any money to pay for the bag. I barely had enough for a flight. I had no hotel. I was sleeping in a park, going to a workshop with a wife who despised me, and I despised me. And yet somehow amidst all of that pain, there was this one single voice that said, keep going. Brother, I don't know where you are. I meet men and women every single day who are at the peak and who are at the pit. I meet people who are crushing it, and I meet individuals who are not crushing it. But here's my challenge for you today. Regardless of where you are, whether you're at the peak in your experience or you're the pit of your experience, Whether right now you're literally in that same fucking place, your life is in shambles and things are falling apart and you're doing everything you can desperately do just to hang on. Or whether you're at the top of the fucking game and you've pulled yourself out and you've climbed out, the one thing I want you to consider and to look at is this. All of us go to the peak and all of us go to the pit. And the greatest tragedy is to watch those in the pit self-sabotage, sacrifice, and self-crucify themselves for being in the pit, and then to watch those at the peak forget what it's like to be in the pit. One of the challenges that I'm going to give you in this entire conversation, regardless of where you're at today, is to take a moment to breathe. And ask yourself one thing: can you still hear the voice? I watch individuals at the top of their game forget the fucking voice that called them from the pit. And I watch those at the bottom of the game in pure desperation forget that the voice is calling them to greatness. This is what I stand for in the Warrior Movement. This is what I stand for you. This is what I'm committed to creating, and this is why the video series at wakeupwarrior.com and the messages we're sharing through the Wake Up Warrior app are so crucial and so important. So download today the app, quit screwing around, share the video series at wakeupwarrior.com, because there are men around this country, around the world right now, who are in such dire need of simply a voice to remind them that they were born to fucking lead, and that the darkness they experience right now is not permanent. And just as Jesus preached it, this too shall pass. Have a great rest of your day. I'm off for my run. Finish up my run here in San Diego, then head back to work with all my guys today. This is Garrett J. White reminding you the power in today's marketplace of modern day warrior comes down to the simple formula of authenticity. Be real, get raw, and stay relevant with a ruthless commitment to creating big ass results today.